have with us an eminent director whose films speaks only the truth. He has his films speaking for him about social and economic political realities, and he is a national award winner and also the chairman of K.R. Narayan Film Institute. I take immense pleasure in welcoming. Hi, sir.
Hi, good afternoon.
Your films have a strong reflection of social and political, that's sensitive topics that have been openly discussed. And how do you think the social political messages at this age and time reflect in cinema with cinema audience? And do you think that cinema has the power to make changes with the society?
Cinema, I don't think, has the power to make changes in society. It finally depends on people. But cinema does have a role to play in adding to the questioning process of a society, or adding a kind of edge to thinking about politics, economics of society, how it functions. It does have a role to play. But to imagine cinema creating any kind of major change, I do not think so. It matters with people.
Do you think it might make ripples?
Yeah, and if people start questioning, then perhaps it's a good thing. And to be satisfied with the status quo is the worst thing in the world. So I'm not a status quoist. So I make cinema that questions everything. All the cliches about history, politics, life, love, I don't know. Question everything.
So everything has the role to influence.
Everything needs to be questioned.
Everything needs to be questioned.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No question about that.
Cinema, what do you think about cinema then and now? What do you think has to be changed? What do you think has to be reformed? Or what do you think is lost?
Now, I'm not here to pass judgment on other people's work and time. I'm here to just see or chronicle the change that's happening. And right or wrong is unimportant to me. The cinema that's been created today is completely different from what had happened 10 years ago and what happened 20 years ago or 50 years ago. And that's going to happen. It's inevitable. The point is, how has it changed? And that to me is very important. And what is the engagement of filmmakers today with their society in which they live? So that's what that's why I'm here, to see in what a variety of films.
Films.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All your films talk about sensitive topics, as I said before. What challenges have you faced in expressing them, and what do you think the creative limitations that you had to go through, or is it even the coming filmmakers, they have to face these creative limitations because the topic becomes sensitive? How do you think they should handle it, and how have you handled it?
I handle it in the sense that I've been through a time where my films were not censored, but they were questioned.
You are questioned.
They were. But they went through. And there were times when certain friends of mine and their films were found it very difficult to be telecast or to be seen. Like people like Anand Patwardhan and his cinema, or Rakesh Sharma and his cinema, the documentaries that they made. Today is another matter. Today the nature of state intervention is very clear. You're allowed to follow a certain narrative that perpetuates the state position, you're allowed to make films. The moment you question that narrative, the moment you do, you'll be asked questions. You can be harassed, you can be stopped, you can be... Look at what's happening at this festival right now where films are not allowed to be screened. Somebody sitting in Delhi has decided that these films should not be shown. What does it mean? It's ridiculous. And when I say ridiculous, I mean any kind of cinema. Right wing, left wing, pink wing, blue wing, nothing should be banned. I stand for freedom of expression. Any kind. It doesn't have to be my kind of expression. No way. Any kind of expression should be allowed, because in the process of accepting censorship, great film can be stopped.
That's true.
That's what I have.
People have to compromise.
Yes, therefore this is a problem. But otherwise, in today's times, if you follow the jingoistic nationalist fervor that this country is going through, you'll be allowed, wow, great stuff. You know, celebration, Diwali, सब कुछ बन रहे हैं. The moment you question this euphoria, what's it about? With 800 million people getting free food, I mean, this is the problem. The maximum number of stunted people in the country, in the world, is in India. Of inequality, injustice, bulldoze justice. You start questioning that, no way. You will celebrate.
The expression of
Yeah, you celebrate, you know, like, great India, wow, wow. Superpower. All right, superpower, let me know how. I want to know how. On what is the basis? That is not enough. No way.
So you still tell the current filmmakers that they should, regardless, be true to their story.
Supposing you agree with the government, fine, tell me why. Yes. I'm on your side.
Got it.
I mean, but tell me why. And I'm on your side. When you can't tell me why, it's just pure idea. We agreed. Tell me how we agreed, I'd like to know.
The thought behind the process.
Yeah, and then when that's not there, then I have a question to ask.
Got it.
But I will not stop the film from being made. It cannot be banned, no matter what they say. To me, that's anathema, no censorship of any kind.
Understood. That's an expression of a filmmaker, and I totally understand that. With the current social media that's there, the actual time span of many people have reduced to say 15-20 minutes, and they expect a film to have twists and turns every now and then, and it's making the freedom of expression for a filmmaker much difficult. What do you have to say about that?
No, what's happened in the process of it all, I don't quite know. It's the attention span of people, that's what we're talking about, to be engaged with. Let it be brutalized. Not just here, it's across the world.
It's across the world, yes.
Not just here, because now you've got those video games with a lot of violence and brutality and blowing up things and slaughter and mayhem, and you've got, don't forget, an immense amount of pornography. And then this, some games that are people. Now the point is, do you cater to that? Or do you say to hell, okay, that's there, but so what? Just make your films anyway, doesn't matter. And to me, that's what important. Make your films.
You don't have to cater to a certain.
You don't have to cater to anybody. You do your stuff, whatever you believe in, do it. And then hope like hell people will see it. But that's important. You start catering to an audience, you become a bhande. You become a bhande. Your job as a creator is to show people what you believe in and the world that you've inherited, and fine, whatever world it is. You start catering,
It won't last.
you go into the gutter.
So with so many issues surrounding K.R. Narayanan Institute, what made you take up the position of the chairman?
Students.
Institute, yes.
I didn't want a student to be left.
Sorry, sir?
I didn't want the student to be left as a kind of cast aside like orphans. I took up the charge. It's a state-run institution. It cannot be left headless, no matter what. Abdul is a very good friend of mine. I respect him so much. He's perhaps also my mentor, in a sense. I believe he had differences. God bless them. They're valid. That does not mean an institution should be left headless. I said, all right, fine. The director in charge who was under which this whole thing happened was an excellent administrator. Excellent. Unfortunately, he got caught up in another kind of event outside of administration, and he had to leave. That couldn't be helped. But he had to leave. So what do you have? What happens? Let the place die out? No. There was a dream behind that institute. Stand by it. And specifically Kerala. That's why I came. Had it been any other state, I wouldn't have come. I promise you. Kerala.
So, especially that you want to not leave the institute as such. I just want to know what strategic approach to the core academic functions that you would bring to the institution.
What fundamentally what we try to do is, if we understand something today, the most difficult thing in the world is to teach. And the reason why I say that, this entire system of Guru Shishya is a load of rubbish now. Anybody, any young person at the age of 17 or 18 is filled with information. They are not empty vessels. I have the wisdom, you are empty, I pour my wisdom on people. No, 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 no. They can teach you things that you can't even guess at. You can teach them things that they can't guess at. It's got to be a partnership. And that's the best way. Therefore, teacher, shishya, over. Equal partners.
Equal partners.
Let's move forward. Learn together. That's it. And that's the best way to do it. Understand the technological changes that are happening, which are critical for the young people to get jobs. Respect it. Partnership together. That's the only way. So this is what we're trying to bring in. They are also partners in decision making. Important. That's what we're implementing all of that. So that's the kind of change that we're bringing in, and it's working. A bit difficult for them to accept it now. What's happening? No, it's happening. It takes a little time. But when it gets into place, it will be the best institute in India. I promise you that. The best.
The best.
Because it's partnership. Everybody has a stake.
That's a wonderful ideology.
Yes, it's a partnership.
How do you find the difference of being the chairman of FGTI and, of course, here? What is the difference?
I was the chairman there.
Yeah, you were. Is there any particular difference that you see between FGTI? FTII and KR Narayan?
There is a major difference. That is a state-run institution. But it became historical, primarily because the students who emerged from there, the technicians, were among the best in the country. And they changed the face of cinema. Sound recordists, editors, cinematographers. Incredible work. Directors, actors, some of them. They changed cinema. You got a reputation, my God. The stuff these kids come up from there, my God, they're good. And they're bringing science into the whole bloody thing of learning. Now it's a history. What's happened in the process after this regime came into power, they tried to stifle it. Too much freedom. We are obsessed with, any center of power is obsessed with the idea of freedom. They get frightened of freedom. And that's the problem. And if you dissent, my God, worse. You say, yes sir, the three back votes were fine. You have a contrarian opinion. Ye kya hua? How are you allowed to think that way? You're not allowed to think that way. And FPI taught you to think that way. So now they can't stomach it. They've clamped down. They're trying to make it like, I don't know, some Pathshala school or something. They can never be. There's too much history in that place. They're trying their best to stifle it. It won't happen. That I can guarantee. Because there are so many ghosts walking around over there now. Great people, great ideas, poets, writers, musicians, painters. Their ghosts are wandering around over there. Yeah. You can't stifle that place. So I'm trying to create that space over here.
What cultural difference or exposure do you think the Kerala students, that is the students in the institute, need that was not there before?
Fundamentally, an international and national outlook simultaneously. If it becomes too insular, it will be a problem. But Kerala doesn't need to learn from anybody. They have the best cinema in the country, this is a fact. What they're trying to bring in is simultaneously the role of the program called the Masters and Residence Program, where a great musician comes and talks about music. A poet comes and talks about poetry. An architect about architecture, all linked with cinema and life. Imagine a T.M. Krishna talking about music. Why does he? Why is he an activist in music? And he talks to people. Why? Then what is music? Imagine what a student will be going through to understand his idea of music. So it's good. Dance groups in Kerala, my God. Theatre performers. Magician. You talk about his art. They're going to be exposed to that. History, poetry, literature, painting, music, short bursts over 3 years' time. And along with that, everything else. The technical courses, the theories, all that is going to happen. So it's a kind of vision we're bringing into the place. And plus, the students participate in the decision-making process.
Understood.
They also, I will not drop the list for the Masters in Resident program. I will not. It's the dean, the HODs, students. They will select.
So they're part of the process.
Absolutely. Their choices.
And that gives the exposure that they require to understand the
Absolutely.
job. So when you were talking about the technology that's currently upcoming, AI is one of the biggest technology that's kind of making a lot of wave right now. What do you think the traditional cinema making will change in 10 years' time with this AI that's becoming, you don't really need a traditional way of filmmaking.
Nobody has seems to really internalized the impact that AI is going to have. And it cannot be computed, it cannot be, we'll have to experience it over time. It can take all kinds of twists and turns, it can be at times incredibly problematic and troublesome. It's possible. Or it can be very, very creative. It can go either way. One has to be aware. It is an incredibly powerful tool for creating the lie. There's a book called The People of the Lie. It's a book written a long time ago. AI has the possibility of we will not be able to tell fact from fiction, truth from non-truth. And in that is an incredible fear that I have. And somebody has to be aware. And then perhaps take notice and then find out ways and means of confronting and overcoming these issues. Critically important. I'm 82 years old, I'm on the other side of the hill. But I know it can be incredibly creative or incredibly dangerous. And to me, young people have to take note of that, or planners have to take note of that. Thinkers have to take note of that.
Do you think AI has the power to change the traditional filmmaking in any way?
AI has the power to change your mind. Aren't you aware of that? It can enter into your brain cells. It can enter into you. It has that kind of power. That is what's the worry about. And I'm talking about the future. It's purely does. See the point. The problem is you had nerds playing games with science, nerds unthinking, and they fantasized. And you've got scientists building those scientists and they're creating stuff. The nerds are having a great time. And kids loved it. NDT2 or some Star Wars or some piece of nonsense. It happened. But after that, ways and means psychologically to enter, the kind of questions that they give you to answer, how they can enter into your field of reasoning and thinking, the data that they collect over you, over time. Look at the power. Look at the information data they will have at their command to, what's her name, young lady? Revati. Imagine the power that they'll have to enter you into you, or your children now. Look at that's something you have to be incredibly careful about. And somebody else think it over. And yet, the possibility of great change and improvement, that's also possible. The balance, I don't know.
So it can be extremely creative or extremely dangerous?
Absolutely, absolutely. Which way will it turn, depending on whose hand is the power? Who holds the power?
So as a
Who holds the reins?
So as a filmmaker, I think everyone should be very responsible in using AI.
Absolutely.
So, could you share some good memories about being part of IFFK and especially
My
the
God.
30th Film Festival?
What can I say about? I've seen it grow. I was here in 1999, the first, and I see it over time. It is a festival that's grown in stature, in depth, in conviction. And as far as I'm concerned, it's the best festival in India. It's the best. It's friendly, it's open, and I wish it will prosper. That's why I'm here. Because I have. It's a very democratic festival. And democracy is what it's all about, life is all about. This is the best.
If you would like to share a piece of wisdom to the young filmmakers now, what would it be?
Create whatever you want to create with integrity. Don't lie. Don't try to please. Be free,
Be truthful.
truthful. Whatever your beliefs are, doesn't matter what it is. It's unimportant. But be integral. That to me is important.
That is very important. Thank you, sir, for your time. Thank
Take
you.
care.